Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Andrea. Unfortunately tonight I don't have Addison with me. She is in a funky mood, so we are just going to do this one by ourselves tonight. So basically tonight my video is going to be on comparing up north living to city living. As you guys know, I've only lived up here a short time and I have lived in the city most of my life. So I just want to compare the two, give you kind of some of like the upsides and then like the downsides to to both. But before I begin, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate any support that we can get, and thank you. Shout out to all our subscribers that we currently have. We do appreciate it very much. So let's begin. So basically give you a little background like I just told you before. I've basically lived in the city my whole life. My kids too. I'm gonna be 28 years old and city's all I've ever known. And about 2 months ago, we moved up to the northern part of Wisconsin, which is basically country. Definitely different than the city. There are a lot of upsides to living up in the country, and then there's also a lot of upsides to living in the city. But I would have to say, in my personal opinion, I prefer living up in the country. Absolutely, 100%. I feel like it's more peaceful, definitely a great place to raise your kids. I mean, there's a lot to do. So, but that's my personal opinion. So basically, some upsides to living in the city. Definitely things are much more convenient. Your grocery stores, department stores, all that types of stuff is usually, just a short drive. So that would probably have to be like an upside to living there. Where versus living in the country, depending where you live, obviously, but my closest grocery store is about 15 minutes away. But unfortunately, that is the only grocery store that's that close. So, unfortunately, like living in the country, you may have where, like those types of conveniences, like your grocery store and that types of stuff isn't just a quick drive down the road or, like a 5-minute walk up the road or whatever. So, let's see, city living, have more people, obviously. So for anyone who likes to be around a lot of people all the time, city living is definitely, it's definitely more probably for you. I like, living in the country because we have neighbors, absolutely, but our houses aren't like on top of each other, where a lot of times in the city you have houses that are very close and usually you can look out your window and your neighbor's right there, where living in the country, you have your privacy, but you also have you do have people that are around. It's not like there's 20 miles between us and our nearest neighbor or any types of civilization. It's not like that at all. So some downsides I would have to say about living in the city would definitely have to be like the noise, a lot of commotion going on. There tends to be more violence and crime. I have to say that living up north, I have not really come across anyone that I've seen that was even like pulled over, or you don't really see a lot of police officers out patrolling, that types of stuff, because I think the crime rate here is much lower than what would be in the city. And there's definitely a lot of stuff to do in the city. Obviously you have more of a selection, versus living up north. You have a lot of stuff to do, but you are a little bit limited. But, it depends also on like the season. So like summertime, there is so much to do, in the country. But at the same time though, like, I mean, there's stuff to do obviously like in the winter too. But it just depends like what you normally like to do also. So it just depends on like your preferences and stuff. But it doesn't mean that, living up north or living in the country, that you can't drive somewhere to go do stuff too. So I guess it just depends how you look at it. Otherwise, like I said before, I definitely have to say that I think I prefer living in the country. I feel like, for me, it feels like it's safer. It's more peaceful. That is one thing I have to say. I used to live in the city. I used to live in an apartment complex. And every night my neighbor would come home and their bass would be so loud that it would shake my walls and it would wake me up every single night. It didn't matter Unfortunately, if it was a weekday and I had work the next day, that didn't matter. He came home every night and his bass was blaring. So you definitely don't have that up here at all. As a matter of fact, when you go outside at night, it is literally so quiet. I mean, all you hear is yourself breathing. It's so nice. And you know, you can see the stars at night, and it's just very peaceful, and it's very content, and it's very nice. I feel like everyone, at least once in their lifetime, should take a jump out of their comfort zone, and they should attempt to, whether you're living in the city now and you attempt to live in the country for a short amount of time, or you live in the country now and you take a jump at living in city life. I feel like everybody should take that opportunity at least once in their life, just because you'd be surprised how you may actually like living in the city or living in the country. I just feel like everyone needs to kind of step out of their comfort zone at one point or another. So yeah, otherwise, definitely I prefer living up north. So basically, I've had a few people ask me, but right now, we are staying with relatives, and actually coming up very soon, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, if not May, early part of summer, I will be applying for a mortgage and buying my own home. So that is the plan. As of right now, I am on track for everything. So hopefully no hiccups in the road and everything goes good. That way we can buy a house and we can have our own place to call home, and my kids can have their own rooms, and they can you know, have a place to come home to every night. That's ours. So that is the plan for now. But so for everyone that was asking, and they haven't responded to, that is my plan, and that's what I'm doing right now. So otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, we appreciate all the support. Please, if you have any ideas or suggestions on videos, please don't hesitate to comment below. Otherwise, please do subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Addison will be posting a video on Tuesday. I'm not really 100% sure what her plan for that video is, but please tune in for that. And I think that's all I have for now. Thanks, guys.